What's up, guys?
Right.
It's your community manager here, KL, joined by the Loadout Dev team. This is the, I think, 17th weekly dev live stream. I have Rich,
Yo.
Greg,
Hello.
Danny,
Hello.
Walter, Ben and Kendall. You cannot hear them. We also have Roscoe on the mic, and we have Sean Colleton in the chat. He is Loadout right now. He'll be handing out keys. Today we're going to talk about pretty much the build that we released. Going to answer some questions. Everyone is not here today, normal crew. So the two loudmouths of the group, Ty and Ian, they are at GDC with.
But you know what? We'll still make fun of them.
Yeah, we'll still make fun of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're at GDC. We also have Marcus at GDC and Mike Panoff. I think we were talking about him last week. He's usually in the chat as well. I think Rob is there, and so is that it? Is it? I think that's the crew, the GDC crew. But yeah. So today is just pretty much a lot of playing, a lot of talking with you guys, answering questions, and almost had a sneeze
A lot of
there.
sniping Danny in the head.
Oh my.
Hey,
And
I'm my options together.
I'm not above the occasional AFK kill.
probably gonna hop into
Danny, you wanna come over here?
weapon crafting a little bit. I think last week's weapon was Obamacare.
Oh,
You guys remember that? My
Oh,
healing,
yeah.
my healing weapon. So this week's build, we introduced a couple new things. We added some pieces to character customization. We filled out that. Is it from? I want to say it's like from an Alien movie, the Marine outfit.
yes.
With that whole outfit is now in there. The helmet, the pants, the armor plate, which was in like 2 builds ago. That's when that one got introduced.
I'm gonna mute my channel real quick.
And the funniest thing is on the forums we had some guys. I think Cover OP. We talked about him last week. Cover OP was waiting on that full outfit so he could make his Doom character. So there's a post on the forums in the actual build notes of his character that he's made. Now that we filled out the rest of that outfit, so it was pretty sweet. I think we also increased the pricing of tier 2 and tier 3 weapon parts. Obviously we're interested to see the feedback on that, but they have been, that is put in place for this build. Kind of testing the waters a little bit. Haven't heard anything poorly received yet, but definitely waiting for feedback on it.
But now that we brought it up.
Yeah, now that we brought it up, I'm sure people will be like, "Oh my God!"
Fuck you guys.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we've changed prices a couple times on a different like the outfits and stuff to make it more consistent. That's some of the things that we've changed in the past. And I think initially we had a huge price reduction on weapon parts when we first introduced the system. If I'm not mistaken, that sounds right. Anyone can feel free to correct me if I'm talking out of my ass.
The good news for all these two,
Well, you are.
the thing to keep in mind is that
You happen to be right.
all this is pretty flexible, so don't feel like, oh my god, the prices are this and we'll always be that. Like, we can adjust them, we'll listen to feedback, so that's always a thing we keep in mind.
Ooh.
And that's actually, I should mention, true of like everything in this game.
Yeah.
If you ever feel like this thing is fundamentally broken, give it some time. It might come around.
Yeah, we eventually get to everything. So another one that was popular request, I don't know if it was quite exactly what everyone had in mind, was the field of view slider we now have. Obviously, there was a big time request initially, and it kind of died down for a little bit, but now that we've added slightly more people to the beta, we've seen kind of the FOV slider pop back up here and there. So now we have the field of view slider, which actually increases. I might be able to edit it right now. Let's see.
Yeah. I think we put like some bounds on that, right?
Yeah, so you guys can see my camera moving. Yeah, we put some bounds on it. One of the things that's kind of tricky with third-person shooters with that is like and someone already posted a bug on it. If you look up or down, your camera will kind of get caught behind you.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one of the issues and challenges that we face with adding a feature like that. So we'll definitely make sure we kind of correct it and get into a spot that works for everyone or as many people as possible. So that's a new change. And then I think a big request was the ability to delete your weapon again in the arsenal.
Yes.
So that is now back as well. I went ahead. I think on this particular character in Uber Pi, I had like every weapon is maxed out. So now that we have the tiering system and you have the ability to upgrade your weapon, one of the issues with deleting your weapon parts and deleting your weapon completely is that you permanently lose all of the upgrades. So we wanted to make sure that we got notifications up and made sure that system worked properly before we just let you delete a weapon on a whim and you would lose all of that hard work.
I kind of touched on this on one of the forum posts, but yeah, kind of the whole idea with that is we wanted these guns to be a little bit more permanent, a little bit more like personalized, like you own this gun and you're sort of leveling it up as you go. So with that thought, it's like these things contain your upgrade points. You built them up over time, and then like Kendall was saying, you don't want to just accidentally delete that and be like, oh shit, that was hours of my play time there.
Oh man, that was a quick game. You guys got demolished.
Yeah, they lost Danny. It's like 2.
Danny was there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Trying to do real work. Whatever.
So that's it for the new features. I guess there's a couple more that'll pop up here with the gameplay changes. The big gameplay change was that we have the first initial nerf to melee.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think, the second major rework of melee that I'm aware of. We did one back in like December-ish or maybe January, and now we have another one with this latest build. So we reduced the amount of damage. Now it takes 3 hits to kill your opponent from 2. Once was 2, and then we reduced warping, which I think was that the lunge? Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
it also just doesn't go as far, snap as much.
We will have more changes coming probably in the next build that you'll notice with melee as well. So that's been one that has been very scrutinized by the community, and we're definitely listening. So we wanted to make sure that we address it, and we'll be continuing to monitor feedback on that. I'm looking through the notes. Lowered the difficulty of multi-kill and triple kill contracts. I think Walter, you just sent out an email today talking about some of the contracts as well, but in general, contracts have been reworked since we introduced them, just for consistency and better user experience. But Walter, can you kind of talk about some of the new contracts that are coming up?
Yeah, we added a couple just yesterday that are like more just kind of, you'll get them like complete a match. Things were kind of obviously missing before. So we'll have one like complete a couple matches, win a couple matches, ones that are not like that big of a deal, but you'll kind of, if you just play, you'll get them, and eventually you'll have them, and it won't be these big bottlenecks requiring these outrageous like skill play kind of. Because that was never the intent with that. We're not trying to like say, nope, you guys don't get points unless you do crazy shit. Like that was not the goal with that. That was mostly just an aspect of how they went in and when they went in. So we're getting all that worked out. And
I want to do crazy shit.
Oh, we'll have a few of those, I think, but they won't be like the majority case, which they kind of were for a little while. I think we've already addressed that largely, but we keep iterating on it. Like I said, it's constant development. We're always kind of trying to tune and make things better. So,
like, can you name a couple contracts that'll be coming?
Well, like I said, we got complete some number of matches.
Okay. I did hear you say that.
Yeah, we have win them. We have ones for each game type. So those are the ones I added yesterday, but we'll keep adding more. Those are just some sort of low-hanging fruit, some obvious ones that are good to have. You know, you want to have a couple in there that are just like, hey, you can do this. It won't take any special skill other than playing, and you can eventually get them. Because we want to be generous with our stars or upgrade points or plutonium shards or whatever we end up calling them.
And we have a poll on that, actually.
Yeah.
I think plutonium shards is winning. I need to check that again. And then the second place is hard beer capsules.
Hard beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And for you guys just tuning in, this is Loadout, developed here in Austin by us, Edge of Reality. It's a third-person, free-to-play shooter, all about weapon customization. We're playing the game type Extraction. The objective right now is to collect those blue crystals. You saw G. John just pick up one. It's Greg. Oh, I'm the collector right now. Missed my melee. And then take them to those bins. I died. Did you kill me with the...
Yes, I did. I sacrificed a score to kill Arctic.
Oh, ow. Ow. No, bad time to be the collector. Oh, no. Take that, Ema
Looking more at the notes from this build. Weapon crafting. Oh, you slowed the rate of fire on burst trigger rockets? Why'd you do that? Why'd you nerf weapons?
Because I hate fun.
I hate fun. Why does Walter hate fun?
I mean, you know, why does swallow fly? There's some poetry thing here.
Why does swallow fly? Why do turtles?
Yeah, it's just what I do, man. No, it's
what I do. I hate fun. We've put him in charge of melee.
I wish. I wish. I could.
No.
I don't know, man. It's complicated. Is a short answer. Believe it or not, there's actually rhyme and reason to why I changed the things I do.
What had happened was he went into Steam and he played against some of you guys, and Bigness and some other guys destroyed him, and then he nerfed it.
That's right.
That is the true story.
That's my only criteria.
This is too powerful a weapon. I must destroy it.
That is pretty much how all of the weapons get nerfed. Walter has a bad experience playing against someone.
It's actually not true. Walter is
yeah,
I
really try and keep my personal feelings out of it.
I believe he has a PhD from the University of Australia.
It's something like that.
It's Harvard.
It's Harvard? That's right. He has a PhD from Harvard in game balancing.
Yeah.
It's a new program.
The other thing that I saw that you changed was the weapon tier bonuses. So like some of the tiered items don't have bonuses. I think maybe there might be a couple more that still need to be fixed. But like, you know, you'd upgrade to maybe a stock and it didn't actually improve anything. So I think some of those changes were put in.
Yeah, sorry, I was busy not dying. There was a couple that had got missed. Just in the mountain of data, like just a few got overlooked. So we added some bonuses for those. Like I think full auto trigger for launchers was one of them, where like the tier 2 actually didn't give a noticeable bonus if you had a single barrel. This is where the weird parts of our weapon crafting get just confusing. If you had a multi-barrel, it improved the rate of fire, but of course that doesn't matter for single barrel because the rate of fire is based on your reload time.
Right.
Yeah. You can see how these things can get overlooked in a system this large.
I think the big takeaway is that it's good for people to experiment a lot.
Yes. But then there are still a few that have, I'll call them hidden bonuses. We still don't have a way to show that in the UI, but things like blast radius is increased, or...
How I find those out is I go walk over to Walter's desk and watch to see what he's playing.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, Walter's using that.
Yeah, but we can, you know, we started kind of using, there's a player-made wiki on Wikia that people have started kind of adding information to, so I think for some of that stuff, you know, we'll probably start contributing some of the details to that, so we can get like, you know, you can go there to get like accurate information about how specific game systems work, what the list of contracts is, stuff like that, and some of that's already up there.
Yeah, I saw that you actually added something yourself, so.
Yeah, I added some equipment and some contracts and things like that, so we'll get that. That'll be a one useful place of getting that information, and then, like I said, we'll get the UI to show those It's just not one of the core stats, so it doesn't show right now. But we'll get that sorted out. But there is improvements. There is always some improvement.
There's always something.
Yeah. There's not just like, hey, you get this booby prize for upgrading
Right.
to
As
this
long
part.
as Walter continues getting a paycheck, there will be something new.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my
Right.
bargaining collateral. You want to fire me, huh?
I'm looking, and we had a lot of fixes that went in as well. The one issue that we're running into on live, which is the play button not showing up, that was actually something that we found out early today, and
Yeah.
we're pretty much addressing it right now. I believe a hot fix may be issued today.
That's what we're trying.
Yeah,
That
so
is correct.
If we weren't all sitting here playing the
if
game.
we weren't playing the game for you guys and working, things would get done faster. But you guys like watching the stream, and we like showing you guys our game.
And I like playing the game, honestly, so, you know.
The truth of the matter
It
is,
is
of course,
fun, I have to say.
there are people hard at work at getting that hot fix out right now.
Yes.
That are not us, because
Yeah, because we don't really do work anyway.
Right.
not really.
Yeah.
Although we were more productive when Ian and Ty are.
It's true. Those guys been out all week, man. So much shit's got done.
It's so quiet
It's really quiet, too.
now that Ian and Ty are not in the same
Never
vicinity.
realized what that constant din in your ear was.
So
That ringing in your ear.
Anna said I bumped into her in the break room, and we were talking yesterday, and she was like, how you doing? I was like, oh, fantastic. She was like, how are you liking it now that Ian and Ty aren't over there? I was like, oh, it's so quiet. She was like, and what else I said? I was like, yeah, I finally get some peace of mind. And she was like, yeah, I thought so. Those two are kind of outrageous or something like that. That's what she said. But
Wow, them crazy guys.
she knows. She
Yeah.
knows.
It's always
listens
good
to
to
our
be
live
on the
streams.
radar for your HR
She's
person.
familiar. What they're like in their live streams, by the way, that's what they're like all the time.
All the time.
All
It-
the time.
It doesn't.
doesn't-
There's
it
no
doesn't
on
turn
and
on.
off switch.
That's
Douchebag
some-
Ian remains douchebag Ian 24/7.
It's not some persona. It's not Borat or something.
it's not like it seems this crazy thing.
It's actually kind of cool they're not here because we can really just make fun of them with impunity.
without them saying it.
Maybe they're
Yeah.
listening. I hope
They-
they're listening.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I like to think they'll at least watch after the fact.
Yes, well, I'm sure they'll get a chance to see that.
We can say some of the things that they like to say.
That's right.
Yeah.
For instance,
Fire.
who's got a fire weapon? Can you light somebody on fire?
We should
I
stop,
did all
drop, and
last
roll.
game. I did all last
So,
game.
so
I'll
Walter,
switch to it.
when you get lit on fire, what do you do?
I personally would stop, drop, and roll. Which,
Effective
As
tactic.
in real life, you missed the punchline.
although if you're lit on fire in real life, like you are in our game, I don't know that stopping, dropping, and rolling is really gonna save you.
No, it's not.
It might help. It might turn it into a second degree instead of third degree burn, but
Odds are
Oh,
your
hi.
body's gonna get charred and you're gonna die.
yeah.
I still have my Ian Sucks loadout, which contains Ian's secret lover and a new Pope weapon. And I also have the weapon Burn Ian's Boots. So, even when Ian is not here, he is with me all the time.
Yeah.
He's with us all the time.
Yeah, this is the charged pulse shotgun.
I am
Let's
flooding the zone with health.
Yeah, this is a messy one.
Let's look at some of the chat now. Answer some questions here on Twitter. You guys have any? Since I'm responsible for maintaining
both.
everything, yes.
See, Ben, you just heard him say he's in the chat. You just go and kill him like that.
So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to be looking here in the chat and on Twitter. You can tweet us at Loadout with your questions. I'll read those ones first if any come in. Send those right now. Try to burn Kindle. He's in the corner while you guys are thinking of your
Trying to
questions.
get Roscoe there with my balls of blue balls.
Balls of
Aw,
balls.
nuts.
Balls of balls.
Oh, did I melee him? I just want to melee somebody.
It's not quite as rewarding as before, but that's a good thing.
Knocking somebody down's always rewarding.
Uh,
Hello, Mr. Sniper. Hello.
You have lost your control.
All right, I'm looking at the chat now. Don't see any tweets yet. Remember, guys, tweet us at Loadout. Answer your questions
Oh,
on the
how did you
stream right
live
now.
through that?
How many new items would there be? Infinite.
New items?
Infinite number of new items.
Yeah.
Actually, how many new items did we put in today? Or for the last build?
The last build
For
had.
the for the last build for character customization.
The
There's
last
quite a
build
lot of cool
had.
stuff.
I need to check. Let me see if I have them all.
I just got back, guys. Sorry, I
2,
was out.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count 7, but there might have been more than that. New items. Because I know the whole marine outfit got put in,
Has been lost.
Right.
The enemy has 5 captures remaining.
including the helmet and knee pad. So that's that's 7 or 8, somewhere around there.
New control
But yeah, we'll continue to have new items. I'm actually working on working on kind of getting it out there how frequently we'll have like new content added to the game, like a schedule. I don't know when I'm going to plan on publishing it, but I have to collect all the information from everyone, and then I'll have that available on the forums at some point in
I
time.
can save that last weapon I made. Well, maybe I didn't build it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. You guys hear me right now?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you, Danny.
Sorry.
You're
Muting.
having weapon
I'm having
woes.
difficulties here.
All those bad things you were saying about Ian earlier. We heard those too.
captures remaining.
Let me see. I'm looking at the chat here.
New control point.
Is it going to be desktop or Xbox? Right now we are free to play on Steam for PC. No word on what other systems will be coming to. But we do want this to be in as many hands as possible. But right now we're focused on Steam for PC. Will the maps get full textures before the open beta? I think Danny knows the answer. Danny, what maps are going to be fully textured before open beta? Is it Trailer Park is the only other one?
It's not, yeah, it's not all of them, but it's going to be, the trailer park will be textured, and then we're going to do a night version of trailer park as well.
Okay.
And so we will have 6 textured levels at that point. And then we will continue moving on to texturing the other ones. We'll always have more alpha and beta maps available to you guys to play, because that's how we decide what we're going to texture up, is by getting feedback from the community. So the cool thing is we'll have lots of maps to play, and
The enemy has 4 captures
then we'll art them up as we go. It's much faster to make those maps than it is to completely art them up. Yes.
Yeah, so even in open beta and maybe even beyond, we'll probably have, you know, some beta playlists of things so you can get in and check out new maps and things like that.
And submit feedback right away, and then I'll look at it and be
Yeah.
like, this map sucks. I'll tell that to Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, the other question, Danny, since you're on today, is there a new taunt that we can expect anytime soon? Did Danny walk away?
Sorry.
Danny?
No, I think he's
We lost him.
talking with Nim.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back. New taunt, let's see. Yeah, I've got actually a couple in the barrel. We actually have to go over that big, huge list from the forums that you gave me. I still need to do that. I know I'm realizing I'm late, but we're coming up on open beta, so we have a lot of work to do here.
Yep.
But we finished the Michael Jackson one, and that's up there and available now. And we're coming up with ideas for new ones as we speak. We have 2 in the hopper that we think are hilarious. So, but I won't reveal those just quite yet
So
as to what they're going to be.
2 new taunts, possibly. That was a nice teaser.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was a taunt of
Yeah,
taunts.
Yeah. We're also working on new weapon parts. I mean, which we've talked about, but, you know, still working. Things are getting done.
Kind of
Top men are on it.
Oh, Walter, me.
I think
No, just,
so. Here's a question from Twitter. Maybe Danny, you can kind of answer this one for maybe the art direction style and some other people can chime in. But it says, what games were you most affected by? I imagine affected means influenced. What games were you most influenced by in this sense? For loadout, direction of loadout.
All right, well, there's a loaded question there.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me,
Yeah.
Are we
What
in the
did-
game right now?
What game did you rip off?
I, I saw it in there.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
We're in
so
the
we're
lobby.
back
Ready
in.
up. Somebody's
All
missing
right,
a
so,
remote.
I wouldn't say that there was a game or really we didn't even really look at games to kind of influence us. It had a lot more to do with sort of 80s action movies. It had to do with kind of our own sense of humor within the group of the artists in the studio. And I would say we kind of took a lot from Warner Brothers, old Warner Brothers cartoons. One of the greatest quotes I think is somebody nailed it on the head of what we're trying to do is saying we're basically look like an old Looney Tunes cartoon directed by Quentin Tarantino. I think that pretty much wraps it up, is that we wanted to be, you know, we wanted to make a game about weapons. We wanted to be really over top action. We wanted to have, you know, gallons of blood coming out of everybody. We wanted to make the weapons feel powerful, so we wanted to really exaggerate things. So we decided to go with a very cartoony, animated style, so that we can push the boundaries of things. In realistic games, you can't really get away with going as crazy as we've gone.
Yeah.
So that's part of the direction. Is we just wanted to do something very over the top, and then I think we wanted to get a lot of humor. I grew up watching Warner Brothers, old Warner Brothers stuff, all through my teens, and so I think that's kind of where a lot of this stuff comes from. I think that's about it.
Yeah,
There's a long, you know, I could go for a long time on that, but
Yeah. There's a
it would
the
take me a
biggest
while.
influence is the 80s.
yeah.
Yeah, but we certainly are pulling a lot from 80s action heroes and kind of making fun of the archetypes of that era. And then we're kind of fusing that into putting everybody out on mining asteroids and kind of doing sort of a little bit of a sci-fi, but really only about 20% of sci-fi. We're really going more for sort of that 80s genre of action movies.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
I was hoping you would go there because immediately when I thought about what games influence us, I was like, it's from my discussions with everyone, it's not really been about other games more so than like 80s culture and that whole scene. So glad that should offer up some clarification. That was for Noam Ben Harushani. Noams. Okay, that's from Noams on the forums. I don't know how you pronounce your name, dude.
Oh, is that how that? Because I know there's like a lot of letters in there.
It is. Noam BHS.
I didn't realize that was like his name or like initials.
There's another question from Twitter.
Damn it,
Let's
you
see
stole my health
here. This is from Lycus Sharma. Will you be updating game modes frequently?
I don't know about frequently, but we definitely will be, looking at adding more game modes and stuff as we go on. Like we don't want to go, we don't want to run the risk of having too many, and then it's like this. Halo kind of suffers from this problem a little bit, where there's just so freaking many game modes. Like no one knows what they all do, no one plays 3/4 of them. We don't want to go a little too crazy with it, but we definitely want to add more.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing there is not, and you hit it, segmenting the community before we reach a level where we can support more game types. So
yeah, because it affects things like matchmaking too. I mean, you have those like more esoteric Halo game types, and like you have to wait like 30 minutes for matchmaking or whatever.
One of us switch teams. I'll switch.
Who are we missing? Wait, we lost Danny again?
Oh yeah, I think he's doing something. Another question from Twitter. Harris Foster says,
I apologize, guys. Did you guys have a question for me?
No, we just weren't sure where you were.
I'll let you know when I'm back. I'm sorry.
The question is, why aren't you pulling your weight, Danny?
We got some difficulties on me being able to play, so Nim's here working with me. I'll be back.
Mikey, oh come on! Oh, that's disappointing. How did I not get you?
someone asked about This is more of a studio question rather than loadout, but he asks about us working on Mass Effect Trilogy. And
Yes, we did work on Mass Effect Trilogy.
why isn't our name on the box? That's what he wants to know.
Oh, can we even say that?
I don't even know if we can even
I'm not
say
sure.
if
There's
our
a lot
name
of
should be rules. Yeah. so-
There's always weird rules, and that's a long story short. It's just we can't.
Yeah. Any plans on customizable scopes or reticles at least? This has been a popular one. This is from Bigness.
Yeah, it came up a long time ago. I remember, and we're all like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty sweet." As for plans, you know, it's like your plan. You know, when you want to lose weight, and you're just kind of like, "Yeah, we should do that," and then
Wow,
you eat a pizza,
that's-
and you just keep
not
not.
quite how
It's
you
not
are
quite that
planning.
bad, but
Not quite. Close.
it's sort of like that. So I mean, it's totally on our list, and we really need to do it. Probably a little more seriously than trying to lose weight after New Year's, but
popular
maybe a little less
request.
seriously than like, you know, we have to finish taxes by April 15th. Somewhere between those two things.
I'm actually not really serious about that. So.
Yeah. Tax, whatever.
I want to be one of those guys that says I refuse to pay taxes, and so
Yeah,
that's it.
They
I
can pry
just-
from my cold dead hands.
That's right.
Yep.
The gorilla's going down.
Gorilla. Oh, the gorilla.
Aw.
Oh! Wait. I
Got
wanna
that.
get in on that.
Gangnam
Oh,
style.
die now.
Let's see what other Twitter questions we have, then I'll go back to the chat. That looks like it's it, so I'm back to the chat. Let's see.
Aw.
Oh, Ben.
The enemy has
Really?
5 captures
No,
remaining.
but sorry to go back to the scope question. Like I said, we do have to answer for real. So we do actually have plans. We have those couple that I mentioned before. I think last week, where like we have an X-ray scope and a bioscanner, and those will probably go in relatively soon. I mean, they're really close to done. And then we had the suggestion that's come up before, where we have we allow different scopes to have customized reticles, and I still think that's totally on the table. Like that would be a really helpful way of letting you, one of the ones that was an example was like a grenade launcher. You see in a lot of games those have kind of like that, sort of like a V-shaped, like tiered line, so you can kind of gauge how far you need to arc the shot and stuff. So, but long ago we toyed with making that somehow based on some combination of parts, and it just became too difficult to predict. Like, well, just because you have a certain part does not mean you have that gun. So, where do we draw the line? And
Right.
I think just letting players make their own thing is definitely the way to go on that.
Oh,
Oh, I tore you up with that.
Yeah, that hurt. Good
Come
thing I had
back.
health packs. Aha!
go!
Oops. Accidentally killed Uzinator when I was trying to kill you.
I'm using my charged
Captures remaining.
charged
Oh, I didn't.
trigger.
Oh,
Get away from me.
So
Gosh
many
darn it.
bouncy balls. Oh, God.
Okay.
More chassis on the works.
More
The enemy
chassis?
has only 1 capture
Yeah, the
remaining.
plural of chassis.
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 I have- I'm never sure. Is that like with an E or just
Chassis is chassis.
chassis?
It's like sheep and sheep. It's not sheeps. It's chassis.
Always.
Is that
Plural
with
of
an
chassis
E?
is chassis.
Okay.
1 chassis, 2 chassis, 3 chassis.
It's not like
4.
basis and bases.
basis and bases.
Yeah, the plural of basis is
Basis.
basises, right?
This is-
But are we getting them? I don't know.
Let's have an English lesson first, then I'll answer the question.
Yeah.
Let's totally diverge off topic. No, the chassis are complicated, as you can imagine. So they definitely take a lot of time to get right and to get in there. We'll probably put in new payloads first. Chassis are more of a long pull thing. I think some of the ones that have come up before are like a spray kind of chassis that might be a way to get flamethrower in there, or like kind of lay gel on the ground or things like that. Crossbow is a popular one that people have talked about. Pistols are another one. Sort of a light pistol-y version of the larger guns that we have. So there's a few we have in mind, like to explore, but those definitely take a lot of time and effort to get in there.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm back.
Sweet.
I'm in. My weapons are working. I'm ready to take off some heads.
All right.
Got another question, Walter. This is for you. Any
Man.
buffs or nerfs to weapons? It really feels like the bolt action and beam are underpowered for the reload time it has. That is from QMayo 13, Quincy May. It's an interesting feedback from bolt action.
Being underpowered? Yeah, I haven't heard that particular
Yeah.
opinion very much, but snipers are a tricky business. Like, just the skill gap is so huge on that. Like, the people who are really good at sniping completely tear up with snipers, even if you make them terrible. But if you make them terrible, then no one else can use them.
Right.
So it's just, it's always a hard one there. I don't know that we're gonna make any. There's not really any plans right now to nerf those, but like I said, there's a complicated way that we check all the data, and we look at player profiles, and we look at the forums, and we read tea leaves and do all fancy divinations and whatever it takes. But like we pull
Consult
these
the
things together,
bones.
and some combination of these lets us determine like what are we gonna nerf, what are we gonna change. Sometimes it's nothing.
No chickens were killed.
Someone asked a question. Was there any any idea? Let me see if I can find that question again, so I can read off who it actually was. Any plans to add movement? From Nova Lisk 0. Any plans on evolving movement, like adding double jumps and climbing?
Well, we have double jumps.
Double jump is currently in. Yeah, that's.
You may have
We've
seen
got
us doing
jump
it in this.
boots, which I've got right now.
I think several of us have it.
I can speak to that a little bit. What people might not be aware when you first start playing the game, that there's a little more to jumping than what it seems to look like. So whenever you use a ramp, you actually get a higher jump. Stairs, anything that actually has an upward slope, rocks, whatever. You always know when you get a higher jump when there's a little sound to it where it goes whoosh, and it has a little air burst.
Yep.
You also get one if you dive roll and then jump right after your dive roll. You actually get a pretty significant boost there, and a lot of our maps take advantage of that. So some areas that you can't get up with a jump, if you use a dive roll and then a jump, then you get up higher and you can get over things just right. We sort of have a double jump. If you equip the jump boots, then you get a double jump as well. The jump boots are actually quite powerful. They'll actually give you a really good burst, and you can get to areas of the map that are much harder to get to, that take kind of a long way to get to very quickly, just by using those. I particularly like using those in our new level, which is not the trailer park, but the
shipping yard.
Yeah, the shipping
Oh, yeah.
yard. I don't think it's called shipping yard though. I think it's still called trucker. Something trucker.
It's shipping yard in live.
Is it called shipping yard
Yeah,
now?
it got switched.
Yeah, so anyway, that jump boots in there is awesome. I kind of don't like that map without them, and I love that map with them.
Yeah, there's some really hard like routes to take in there without jump boots.
Yeah.
But you can do some dive roll jumps and stuff. There's definitely some advanced movement in that level.
Yeah.
Where if you're not doing those things, it can be a little time consuming to get from here to there.
So yeah, when you get good at all three of those at those particular things, you'll find that, I mean, agility is certainly one of our pillars of this game. We wanted to do something instead of being sort of a slow-moving, hide behind cover all the time and shoot. We're more about staying
Mobile.
active. Yeah, staying in a very active state and dive rolling and avoiding and evading, and jumping up, and then while you're floating, using shooting and all that kind of stuff. So you're much more, like you say, an action movie. You're flying through the air and you're shooting guns. You're not just kind of hiding behind a rock.
Yeah.
So once you get good at all three of those things, you'll actually find that the player package gives you a lot of diverse movement, and you'll feel the ability that you can get to pretty much anywhere you want in the map quite easily.
Oh yeah.
A really interesting thing. I gave one of my buddies. He was a big time Unreal guy, and we get a lot of comparisons to some of the old school, fast-paced, quick twitch shooters, and he hadn't played Unreal in a couple years. I said, hey, give our game a try, and he sent me a message literally about 2 hours after he got done playing. He was like, the mobility in this is so unbelievable. He was really complimenting the roll, because you don't get stuck in one direction. typically when you roll, you can only go one way, but in ours, you know, when you roll, you can completely change your movement. So
You can actually 180
right,
during
you
it.
can 180. So he was completely in love with that.
Control a point.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and actually, those old school games is a lot of what we kind of wanted to get back to. You know, a lot of the newer games are kind of embracing sort of a realistic sense.
Yeah.
And I really miss those kind of shooters. Those are the
They're
kinds
all
of games
the,
that I like to play. Is the Dooms and the Quakes and even Half-Life 2. Those kinds of games all have very kind of more about action and less about you know, what it's like to be a realistic guy in the military and having to, you know, worry about being shot because you'll die.
Yep.
in
Although that
our-
said, every one of our weapon combinations is based off a real weapon.
Yeah, that's right.
that is
Right,
true.
All of
the plasma balls.
Bouncing rockets, all of it.
It's
Yeah.
an experiment that Walter's going in his basement.
Right now, I'm using.
hypodermic needles.
Yeah.
So
Right now, I'm using charged rockets. My
Just
favorite.
like real charged rockets.
Just like real charged rockets.
I think
We
it's our
pride
Second
ourselves on
Amendment
our
right
realism.
that burn people.
Isn't our Second Amendment right to actually have charged rockets?
I think so.
It's in the Constitution.
Somewhere in the Constitution.
Weapons of mass destruction.
or ass destruction in our case.
Ass destruction. Weapons of ass
Mass
destruction.
destruction. Looking at the chat for some more questions. I saw one earlier. It was like really early in the stream that asks, were we going to create a Bruce Lee type character? And ironically enough, I actually brought up on the forums, someone said what type of character customization items would we want added? And so I have this like weird obsession with the yellow jumpsuit outfit from not Return of the
Bruce
Dragon.
Lee.
Enter the-
Is it-
Yeah, I
is it
remember
Return of
that.
the Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Or Enter the
with,
Dragon.
With the
Enter
basketball
the
player.
Dragon, my God, you guys are bad.
So I said Return of the
Is it Enter the
Dragon.
Dragon or
it's,
Enter the
it's,
Dragon?
it's
Enter
from
the
Kill Bill.
Dragon.
Come on, it's from Kill Bill.
Well, it's Kill Bill
Kill
has
Bill.
it too, but
Terrible.
it's first and
Shame to yourself.
Isn't that
Enter
the
the
one,
Dragon.
when he went up against the center of the Los Angeles Lakers?
Abdul,
Kareem, yeah.
Abdul
Yeah.
Kareem
Yeah.
Jabbar.
Kareem.
We just kicked just from a
that
mile away.
outfit is certainly within bounds and not a bad idea to give to Lance for sure.
Yeah.
Our next character is actually going to be a female character. And we've
Oh,
been
that's a
hinting
teaser.
Yeah. Everybody's been kind of wanting to play a girl in our game, and I think they'll be delighted to find that we're taking a very creative stance at the kind of girl that we're putting in our game. We are taking more of a humorous slant on it than you might expect, but we'll say no more other than that.
I actually want Ehoff to create a painting of her when she's done, holding T-Bone and Axel by the neck.
Nice.
I think that would be
Punching the shit
awesome.
out of one of them.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea either. We're holding them like rubber chickens.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I pictured it, holding them like rubber chickens, which would be just
Or with the,
absolutely awesome.
The drumstick bandolier that one of our
Yes.
forum
The
members.
KFC
Absolutely.
drumstick
Wait,
bandolier.
We were actually joking about that the other day. There's a teaser for you. Is that there will be some food-equipped items.
And we have her holding Ian and Ty instead. And they're
Oh
holding
yeah.
embrace.
Actually, we should have her like in bed with Ty.
Oh yeah, that'd be. She's just her his type.
Yeah.
I think so.
Ty is interviewing models for that position right now.
Right.
Control point.
Hanging out at the Rose,
The enemy
trying to
has
write it
no
off.
captures remaining.
It would
All part of research.
definitely accommodate Ian's style, because you guys know, as I've said on before, he's always at the club.
Yeah. You can find him in the club. Bottle full of bub.
Getting on a rub.
Okay, so let me see. Back to questions. Question for Danny. Any
Oh.
news on Tusks? That's
Oh, that's
that's
funny. Is that
that's
Marion?
definitely from Walrus.
That's definitely Walrus.
Oh, okay.
How can you tell?
His name is
Funny, I think
Fantastic
somebody asked me that
Walrus.
the other day in chat when I was playing a game.
Probably
Was he
Walrus.
was he
I
mind
think
crazy?
I think I told him it was a good idea, but I
Was it
actually
him?
didn't promise the feature. I'd like you to actually submit a concept drawing of where you want the tusks and how big they are, and put it up on the forum. And
On
then,
my crotch.
and then we'll take a look at it and see if we feel it fits.
I know exactly what I would make. One of those like African weird fur like belts that have like tusks and whatnot on them.
So I'm trying to figure out whether he wants like a hat with tusks, or
No,
if he's
he means
actually looking for like
on your
huge
face.
tusks coming out of his.
On your
On his,
Yeah.
Oh, out of his mouth.
He
Yeah.
means out of his face. Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it means.
Is that what he's going for?
It says challenge accepted. Expect
man.
concept art.
Hook it up. Let's do it.
all our people,
I am
all our
happy to
team
review
is,
it.
He's done several concept artists of tusks.
Yeah.
I've seen it. He had me with tusks, like my face.
Let me see. Loki's asks, I'm wondering if Loadout will let you customize your character to be a creature or robot, something other than a human.
We've talked about that. It's probably something that we're going to do a little later, once we kind of define. You know, if you think a lot of other games are going to define their universe and their art style first before they start putting in the wackier things.
Oh.
So robots are pretty in bounds. Creatures probably not so much, at least for now. Can't say what'll happen over the life of the project. I'm sure we will get more and more diverse.
But what about ponies, Danny?
Ponies?
I want a pony. I want a pony.
Unicorns.
I'm
but
just saying,
only
don't-
evil unicorns.
Don't discount the brony market. I'm just saying.
Oh my.
What engine is this game developed on? Oh man, Rob still
This is our
hasn't given me an answer.
proprietary
This is
engine.
our engine though. We are working on the official name of what we're going to call it.
Well, right now it's the Edge of Reality
It's the Edge of-
proprietary engine.
yeah.
The best we can call it, right?
This is
Damn
all
it,
us,
Roscoe.
baby.
All
Yeah,
that work
your
to put that
turret.
turret there. Yeah. I went to such trouble to put that turret down.
Yeah, they're a little easy to take care of if you just melee them.
If you just melee them. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm aware.
That's
No,
that's
But
that's
to
the way
say the
it should be.
truth, you have to melee them because
Yes.
bullets don't seem to do anything to them.
Yeah, they have 200 health, so they're twice as much health as a player.
Ah,
The
okay.
fact that you have to go up and melee them is completely reasonable.
Now, but melee
They just
doesn't
need to
have
snap a little
200
better.
health.
It does when
I
it's
mean,
against
melee
turrets.
doesn't have power of 200, so why does a melee knock it out?
It's long story
might
short.
wanna-
It's
You
Yeah.
are successful.
I want to talk to the guy that's not here right now. He may have something to do with that.
yeah, it's like all things, a work in progress.
And that was from Epic Error, that question. What engine is this game developed on? He says, looks pretty good. Funny how it looks better than the majority of bigger company names. Oh, I think
Nice. Thanks
Yeah.
very little.
Actually, I like Walrus' suggestion here. Engine of reality.
Engine
This-
of Reality.
Reality?
Engine of reality.
Nice.
Even though we're not a
I
very
like that.
realistic game at all.
Yeah, it's sort of intentionally not very realistic.
I guess when we were doing Cypher, that would kind of count.
Yeah. We can be realistic with this engine. It's totally possible.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually, a lot of our, that's another thing actually going back to the art style that might be sort of interesting to people is that one of the things that we were going for was sort of a very cartoony shapes, very exaggerated forms, yet fairly realistic shaders. Rob Cohen, the CEO that is famous on our forums as he's on there all the time, actually was in love with Despicable Me, and he kind of drove that a little bit. Despicable Me they certainly went further than we are, but they have very exaggerated cartoony shapes. But yet if you look at the rendering and everything, it's actually very realistic, and I think merging those two sort of opposite styles works out really well.
Yep.
So that's another thing that we kind of went for in our art style.
Yep. Plus we get the crazy like bloody deaths and the missing limbs and stuff on a totally cartoony dude.
One thing to point out is like kind of the craziness that's going on in the levels in terms of like we have the beer being siphoned through underwear and all this crazy stuff in the levels where
Why
it
is that-
talks
why is
about
that
the
crazy?
IP. Oh yeah,
I don't-
don't we all do that?
What?
No.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah!
Yeah,
I
it just
like
points
this
to
mode.
the IP and
Big
how
cheater,
like
Danny.
insane like these guys are and how crazy.
I
God,
always,
kill me.
it's just a habit. I hit the tab. Someone asked why I hit the tab key. To check my KD.
That's
yeah.
right.
No, but
to,
I usually do that to check the teams. I got in the habit of doing that, of checking the team balance for our game, because I frequently switch teams in live. So that's just one of the reasons contributing to why I always hit tab. So before I was checking to see if Danny was in the game. Oh, no.
Ah, tasty
I know
kill.
he's in the game now.
Oh my.
That's what you get for tabbing, dude.
I just wanted to
Uh-oh.
taunt over Rich's body.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, doing a little teabag again?
But why don't you hold it down? Because I don't need to. Like, I just do quick lances.
Team leader solidified.
Plus, then when you hit shift sprint, then you pull up the Steam interface and
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
like,
wacky.
I don't like
We can
that.
map that out, right? We can map that to something different.
Yes, yes. That's a.
That's true. That drives me crazy all
Well, I
the
think
time.
that's a Steam client thing. So
That's correct.
you can
Yeah.
like as an individual player, you can remap what that combo is.
Correct.
And I think some players have, for exactly that reason.
Yes.
What about clans? We've had some news on clans. I think we talked about it in last week's show. Plans for clan support and tournament type playlists and all that stuff. Majority of it you'll see after open beta. So those will be features that will come a little bit down the road, but we do plan on having them.
Yeah, we're definitely doing them. It's just a matter of when. So our focus is getting out to open beta, having a nice polished product for everybody to enjoy with pretty much what we have, and then adding features throughout
Aw.
open beta. But that is something that we all really want, and it's probably one of the next big features to come on.
Yep. And then
Blood
possibly
splatter.
supporting like plan-specific game types and stuff like that, or customizable servers, things like that.
Yeah. So you're gonna be able to rent your own servers. You're gonna be able to actually go and like pick what guns. Potentially, you'll be able to go in and pick make your own weapons, and then say, hey, come play with my weapons. I think I've got a cool balanced thing here, and you can lock out certain things and really kind of create your own games that way.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a really cool feature. A lot of games, do it by map creation, but we're attacking it from the other direction of you create the weapons that everybody
Yeah.
plays with, and
Yeah.
that's how you kind of be a game designer on your own right, and see what kind of fun combinations you can come up with.
I would make all Scuttle all day.
All
Yeah.
Scuttle playlist. I think it could be pretty cool. I like Scuttle.
I
In fact,
call,
you know
I call
what?
it the Scuttle Bus.
I'm gonna switch to my Scuttle
Bus?
payload right
Yeah,
now.
Scuttle. I got nothing here.
Any idea of the prices of the servers? Now, I don't think any of that has been discussed
Nope.
yet.
We haven't
in
even
depth.
discussed it yet.
But $1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to throw a number just out of my ass.
For 1 week.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody finds that funny.
No. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That's way too much.
Oh,
That's a
It's
completely
certainly
make-believe
not
number.
going to be that.
It's not good.
I can see this being really big in the competitive space. Oh, it's interesting. I was actually a former pro Major League Gaming player.
Baseball
Broke your-
star too.
Yeah, Major League Gaming.
Until you broke your gaming muscle, and then
Yeah, and then I decided to give it up.
you're tired because your 3 unborn children were. Wait, I don't know. There's like a Rocky story somewhere in there.
Is that where muscle milk comes from?
You have won.
What?
Wow, my
what?
KD
I don't
blows.
know. That's the
I
I can't
biggest
talk and
non-sequitur.
chew gum at the same time.
I'm going to back out, go into the outfitter for the end of this because we're about to wrap it up here.
All right, are we overplaying?
I
Yep.
think so.
Cool, sort of good game, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
this is
man.
a great game.
Oh,
Only because I sucked. I don't mean the game itself. I mean a good game as a little experience.
Yeah.
Thing.
That match. Good match.
Good match. There we go.
Good match.
So-so
Good
match.
So match.
So for me, because I sucked the big one.
Arctic Space is on the Sabretooth box. That is correct, Bigness.
That's true.
I don't know if I'm famous. Not quite famous.
You're more famous than the rest of us. All
That's
combined.
true.
Any news on Cryo Payload? It's in the works.
It
We
is-
we're prototyping it actually. We're working on it during the last week and upcoming couple of weeks, and we'll like keep kind of iterating on it and try and get it working better. We have sort of 2-pronged approach where one guy's working on the sort of behavior, another guy's working on the like appearance of it, and we're kind of trying to split the work like that. Coming together. It's we'll start playing with it more internally. Maybe in one of these dev matches once we get the visuals in a little bit more.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, may as well show it off here. It's a good place as any.
Hey Walter,
then,
have you spoken much about the, before we're actually into the ice, you had some low-hanging fruit of things that we already have working that I don't think we released to the public yet, like the X-ray
Yeah.
scope and stuff.
Yep,
Have you
he
let them
talked a
know
bit
about
about
that?
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
I mentioned
cool.
that earlier.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it last stream too, but it's a couple things like that. They'll kind of help add a little bit of variety, and they're nearly done, so they're not that hard to do. Beam magazines is another one of those that should be fairly easy to do.
I bring those scopes up because I'm particularly looking forward to those.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been
As
able to
are
play
we
with
all,
them.
yes.
We've been able to play with them inside the studio, and we find them pretty
They're pretty
fun.
neat. Yep.
Yeah, they're neat, and they kind of open up. It's not just a power thing or a zoom thing. It's like a completely different ability, I would say. That,
Yeah, it like gives you new play styles that you didn't have before, which is pretty sweet.
Absolutely.
I'm showing off the complete marine outfit. Right now, was in the latest update. So the helmet was added, and the knee pads. So looks pretty badass. And then I have the army fatigue shirt underneath. Let me see, camo pants for Axel. Let me find those camo pants.
Yeah, we took his base pants. For a long time, his base pants have always been just
there you
the dark greens, but we added camo and black to those. So those are available now as well. Those go really well with other black gear and stuff. You can make your version of Cobretti quite well right now.
And then
Eric's got a great one.
we have a camo shirt for T-Bone. Let's see if I can find it. Is it military? No. No. I don't know if I can find it.
Barca Boy says, "Who made the voice for that woman that talks in the matches?" I think that's actually all computer voice.
That is correct.
That is a computer voice.
There it is.
You type it in and she says it.
There it is. Alright, I'm just going to do some randomizing. This is the closed beta hoodie. Oh yeah. This is so close. This is so close to the
Nice hat.
Bruce Lee. Just change that purple around. Oh, I like those white slacks. And the shoes.
Oh yeah, you've matched that up with a white blazer,
Yeah.
and you've pretty much got a Miami Vice kind of feel.
Oh yeah. Minus the mohawk.
And the knee pads.
Yeah.
That's,
There's like white slacks with boat shoes now. There you go.
Ooh, nice.
Oh
you
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
And then you put on some like mirrored sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, style it. Miami style.
Like Gundam style.
So we also have a black version too. It's very kind of Hitman-esque. Total black suit with a white tie.
I was looking for this. Oh. Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
So I see that Zombie W Goku 77 has a question about how do you get the 40,000 space bucks?
That's
There you
actually
go.
421,000 space bucks. If he's
By
looking at
playing
my
really
account.
hard. He's played that long.
I have
Yeah.
421,000
Lots of headshots.
space
If you buy
bucks.
that, I got some beachfront real estate in Arizona you might be interested in.
This is an internal build, so we can
Yeah,
kind of cheat.
It's
with
our
this.
dev environment, so we're able to do that just so we can actually test things out as we make them.
To be clear on that though, when we play live, there is nothing we can cheat with other than giving ourselves money. So we don't have any other abilities that you guys just trying to say, aim bots and all that kind of stuff.
Oh
There's
no,
none
we
of
don't have
that.
any special dev
There's
weapons.
no
or...
invulnerable, there's no
Yeah.
changing our health or anything. The only thing we can do is give ourselves money.
The Arctic bot.
But since we can
unless
pay
you,
to win,
unless you play
obviously
me.
that's-
And since we're not pay to win, it really makes no differences. Everybody can see when they see my KD score.
Yeah. Because certainly, I'm not faking my KD score.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for today, guys. We will be back next week. We'll have Ian and Ty back, the two douchebags and lovers. Hope you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this
That's where a
stream.
lot of the gay stuff comes from.
Yeah, it is.
Ty and Ian.
They are in San Francisco right now.
So
They are.
That's true.
yeah,
Fabulous.
we'll catch you guys later.